And we're gonna go into what Murray taught
Yes.
me also,
Yes.
and rock my whole world as a man. But Dr. Jean, if you could, can you elaborate on that from a woman's perspective on that willfully submitting, and go in on that if you could?
Yes, sir. It is the ownership piece. It is the freedom to be who I was created to be,
Mm.
attempting to be something else. And I was fortunate to have my father. And may I just say this, Brother Michael? I know that based on your question, we always want to jump in and deal with the problem and deal with the pathology. Okay, we want to deal with the dysfunction,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to lay out what is normal first.
Correct.
And this
Mm.
is answering the question in a way that we're not trying to
Oh,
be
okay.
overly theoretical. We're not trying to be over. We know how to get down in the gritty, practical details, but we find that is talking in circles when you're dealing with people who do not even understand what normal is.
Wow. You're
And so
right.
this is why
Wow.
we're taking this time in answering your question,
Okay.
because a woman who didn't understand that she was owned
Correct.
by her father
Right.
Wow.
and had no consciousness of that because her mother may have obscured that, or society may have taken him. He may have been put into a concentration camp in the mass incarceration due to the
Wow.
epidemic
Correct.
or something. And so they took him from her maybe before the little girl was even born.
Mm.
Right.
And so she had no concept of her rightful owner. And remember, the feminine principle is going to take whatever it is given and produce that and give that back. And so if she did not have an intact patriarch, then her patriarch by default is going to be the dominant male of this society, of this system. And so she comes to most, say most Hebrew, most Black, most Israelite men. They get their wife in a state, even if she's a virgin, say she's never been touched physically, they are still getting her in a state where mentally, emotionally, she thinks that she is owned by the dominant system.
She's
Ooh.
been
Man.
processed. And then as a result of her processing, she, like Eve, would believe that the best of her is outside of her. She would then believe that there is some quote unquote tree out here that has some fruit in it, that she has to go after that. And she then willfully and consciously submits to that
Yeah.
to try to get that fruit. Although
Man.
the one who the Most High had already given the keys to everything she needs, her
Hallelujah.
husband, her owner, is right beside her, and she would
Wow.
neglect him.
Yeah.
That's heavy,
And
bro.
what she would do then is, once she gets the fruit would then say, make this man a eunuch.
Mm.
That would then be her function, and then she would carry it out.
So he's sleeping with the enemy. She is a literal agent of the state, intended to nullify him as from ever being a potential patriarch, so that we can prevent the rise of a Black Messiah, which is the whole objective of the global satanic thought system.
Dang, boy.
So this is why family structure has to be the central thing that
Nothing else matters.
Man.
Else matters. Family. If family has not been established biblically, then what we have is factories to make eunuchs.
Wow, dude. I'm gonna go watch this over in slow motion.
So politics, economics, anything, homesteading, agriculture, self-defense, any area that would be a valid area has to be based on a patriarchal foundation, patriarchal tribal foundation. But what we're doing is trying to skip ahead with a faulty structure, and then we're trying to achieve these things, and this is why we haven't achieved those things as a people,
and we never will
until we fix this.
We never will.
Ooh.